It's all back to normal.
Same here.
Okay, but if the panel pals snap back to normal, if none of it happened, then how do you and I remake...
Name and address withheld.
He never had Micah sit on the show. Shouldn't that be making us, I don't know, crazy?
Crazy? We already make the best comic podcast on Earth and tell jokes about Skip, Diddle and Peter for free.
Okay, crazy,
You really want a 5-hour lecture on the time Kingpin got bummed in prison?
Sure, why not? As it turns out, I have all the time in the world.
What? Am I too godforsaken gloomy for these cool cats? Ah well, at least that Ultimate kid got left out too.
Giggity.
Welcome back to yet another Panel Pals. I'm Skull Ryan.
And I'm MN Stash.
And what the shock are we talking about today?
Huh. Well, after getting through Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, it only made sense to go to the next game, basically in that series, Spider-Man Edge of Time.
Ooh. The time-space duology of Spider-Man.
And it's the better one out of the two, I'd say. It's more enjoyable for me.
Spider-Man Edge of Time, mate. I think, personally, I prefer Shattered Dimensions. But this one's definitely got the better story.
Oh yeah, Peter David nails it.
Peter
What
David,
happens
the
when
man
you get
himself,
someone as good as him?
he created Spider-Man 2099 off his own back.
And he's written some of the best Spidey stories, like fucking Shocking Sin Eater.
Yeah, mate, the Sin Eater. Peter
I
David's
love that
one of them.
story is so good.
Yeah, mate.
When you first boot up the game and you're doing that wall crawling scene,
Yeah.
after Peter dies, spoiler, and then you
Peter
see
Parker dies in
writing or written by Peter David, plot, co-Peter David, and then you got dialogue by Peter David, and you can just tell because every line in this game is so enjoyable to listen to.
What was your favourite line in the game? Be it a joke or a serious conversation?
I mean, a lot of people say it, and it's just when he's like talking about the future and Mary Jane, and then Peter slams on the keyboard. He's like, "My future's meaningless without her."
Oh,
that part is like, that whole scene is amazing. When he just gives Miguel a massive wake-up call.
Yeah. If you don't think saving people's important, you've got no... What's he say? You've got no business calling yourself Spider-Man.
It's so
and then Miguel's
good.
like,
it is
shit,
so
he's
good.
right. Boss, mate. I like anti-venom, which I think it was funny how they used anti-venom. It was very, like, product of its time. Because this would have come out in 2011. So Venom was anti-venom at the time. But anti-venom's like got Peter on the ropes. And Peter's like, I should have listened to you, Miguel. And maybe I would have if you didn't say shock all the time.
It also made sense as well, I guess, because, like, they could use, he drains his powers as, like, a massive aspect of the fight to kill him. Because to kill Spidey, it's pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
So,
there's
like,
a long list of dudes who've tried.
I love that issue in Todd McFarlane's run where he's like ranting to MJ about it. He's like, I fought Thanos, and yet this random guy with a gun thinks that he can be the lucky guy.
I always think that every time like a new run starts after a grand finale of the last one. Like when Dan Slott left, thank God, finally. At that point, Spider-Man's fought Carnage, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus in his own body. And some random punk with a gun thinks he's got the next chance to take down Spider. Like, at what point is he out of their league?
Under Zeb Wells, mate. Anyone's got a chance.
Mate,
Nick Lowe in charge.
Spider-Man can rid interdimensional vampires, but Tombstone's got him apologising. What's that about?
Oh, it's so shit.
It's so yeah.
I do like that one line when you save MJ, and then she's like, "Oh, do you have like a cell phone under your mask?" And he's like, "A cell what?"
Yeah. Or when Peter says, "Tell me who wins the next 10 World Series," and the girl goes, "The world what?"
There's so many times where it just has no shocking clue what they're saying.
Yeah. But that's like incredible, mate. The difference between the two.
Oh, the difference, like him between Shattered Dimensions in this game is like two different people, Miguel.
Yeah, mate. Shattered Dimensions, as we said in our review, absolutely. He's just Peter again. He's too jaunty. He's too ready to laugh.
Ready to save the day,
Miguel,
looking good while doing it.
I remember reading ages ago, Peter David himself said, everywhere, when he was creating Miguel, everywhere Peter zigged, he zagged. So while Peter gets his powers as a teenager, Miguel's a grown adult. Peter's like a shy, nerdy kid, while Miguel's like a Chad scientist. He's already engaged. He like pulls, and
he's rich.
In that original game, in Shattered Dimensions, he is just more Peter. While in the comics, Miguel will have a joke and a laugh as Miguel, but when his mask comes on, he's serious business, dude. As you see, when he lets the vulture fall to his death, because he's like, I'm not saving him. He's a serious
Even
dude.
the way he thought about it for like a second max.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. Shock.
He's like, what is the world gaining by me saving this piece of scum?
It's adds like a whole different element to his character that's so interesting. Because he's a bit more of a loose cannon.
Yeah.
Even like, he's got organic webbing before it was cool.
He's all issue 2. He's like scratching his arms. He's like, what the hell is this? Why my arms burning? And then suddenly web swinging, dude.
That would have been, imagine feeling that though.
That'd be disgusting, wouldn't it?
I do like just even their back and forth. Like there's a whole running joke of Miguel saying, "You really want me to explain whatever?"
Yeah. You really want a 5-hour lecture on?
Yeah. He always goes like, "Do you really want a 2-hour lecture? Do you really want a 5-hour lecture?" And then like Peter always says, "Fuck off, shock off." And then at the end he's finally like, "Sure, I had all the time in the world."
I like as well, because they start off kind of like not liking each other, don't they?
Oh yeah,
like Miguel's telling him, stay away from the 66th floor, and Peter's like, no, I'm going because there's danger, there's trouble. And they're like, why didn't he shock and listen to me? But by the end, they are more pally, more matey. But at the start, he tells him, like, if you don't want a 2-hour lecture, shut up and listen to me. And then by the end, he tells him, instead of saying, listen to me, he goes, trust me. Peter's like, okay, I do. So like, we see them develop through the game.
Did you see in the post-credit, or so not post-credit, during the credits, if you have the volume up during it,
yeah,
2099 starts giving him the lecture, you hear like the very start of the lecture, and then Peter's like not getting it, and then he's like, we're going to be here for a lot longer than 5 hours.
Sick, dude.
How about the two bloody goats, Christopher Daniel Barnes and Josh Keaton?
The key Spider guys, mate. Whenever I'm reading the comic, it's heaven. One of them. It is. These heaven. Are the two. What did we say last time? It was like, instead of saying the Kevin Conroy of Spider-Man, we said like, it's the Biff Tannen of Spider-Man.
The Biff Tannen of Electro.
Yeah. Like the key, these two.
Big Barter one. Who said something about Big Barter?
John Astor.
No, the Big Granny. The Granny.
Yeah. Granny Goodness, who was also Jonah Jameson in the animated series. But he was the only one to ever voice Granny Goodness. These two, mate. Depending on how old Spider-Man is in any given story, these two are always the voices I go for right away.
And when I was reading 2099 before, all I could hear was Christopher Daniel Barnes' voice.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect voice.
Well, that's the trouble with mine, because like Christopher Daniel Barnes is Peter Parker, so why is Miguel sounding like him? But then my mind's automatically doing it. I have to like put an effort to think of like Reno Romano or something instead.
Reno could fit. Reno could have done a good job.
If he
They should
does,
have got
if he
Reno
does his voice from the
for
Batman,
the
for
Dimension.
Shared Dimensions, definitely, dude. If he does
Yeah,
his
they got the
Batman voice
Amazing
from the
Friends
Batman,
guy.
I know, yeah, he's too happy. Maybe Amazing Friends should have been amazing, and then just Neil Patrick Harris probably just doesn't sign up.
What did you who did you think had a better performance?
Josh Keaton, I think, because he had all the jokes.
Even the intense, like, he was getting beaten to death moments as well.
Yeah, or like when he's upset because of Black Cat. Like, he had more range of emotions. Miguel was pissed off this whole game, but Peter had
Didn't he
like,
say to himself, like, when the future Peter's like, let me explain. He's like, explain it to my retreating backside.
Yeah. But there's one line that just, to me, thought was incredible from Chris Barnes. He's fighting Anti-Venom, and he just tells him straight up, he goes, "I'm too much for you." And I was like, oh, mate, the confidence coming from this Spider-Man is extreme. And he's kicking Anti-Venom's ass as he's saying it.
Yeah,
He's not just
so
like being
cool.
cocky. He's cool and he knows it.
You fought him twice, because at the very start, and then as Peter, and you get your ass kicked. And then as soon as Miguel comes through, it's like, wow, it's like Hank versus Janet. It was crazy.
It's incredible, dude. The sheer weapon that the man is.
Did you like that one scene, though, when Peter's half dead and you're crawling away ever so slightly?
And if you don't move, Anti-Venom just stops to twitch. Because he won't get you.
I remember playing that when I was younger. That used to freak me out, just the way that Anti-Venom would not stop walking.
Yeah. Like, he's coming, dude. He's shocking coming for you.
It's so cool, though. Like, Anti-Venom was, oddly enough, I feel like it was a great choice for the game. It was random, like, as we said, product of its time.
Was a product of, yeah.
It worked out so well, I feel like. What about Atrocity?
Like,
that was just Spider-Man 2000?
Yeah, mate. If someone's going to kill Spider-Man, it'll probably end up being Anti-Venom. Just because his power just counters Peter's in every way. They even had to say, in the game, they say, like, oh, the control chip's messing with his powers. He hasn't absorbed all my spider powers yet. So, like, because anyone who's read the comics would be like, well, that's it. Now he's just Peter Parker. But yeah, mate, Atrocity was literally Monster Arc again. It's another Dark Arc monster symbiote. Why even include...
Peter just goes like, oh my god.
Yeah. Why even include Walker Sloan at that point? He didn't really do none.
He was like, he felt like a sub-placement for Peter until he gets into the mix.
Yeah. He was a stand-in for CEO Peter.
There was so much... One thing I do love about this game is how rich the world feels for such a short game. It's crazy the amount of depth they went into for it, because you got like that scene...
The newspaper collectibles and that.
Yeah, but you've even got the scene with Peter in the future. We've got like all the suits that he's worn throughout his career, all the newspapers and photos, and all that shit. And then you got... If you actually was going through the character trophies, or the action figures as they call them, and certain ones like related to the story, you can actually read the bio that tells you what's happened. So like Felicia was obsessed with de-aging herself, and then so she went to Peter at Alchemax, and I'm pretty sure they've mixed, like for the Black Cat you fight, because the memories of Felicia, it's almost like a daughter in a way. And they also gave her like a mutant power that can make her teleport. But then they did like some sort of, I think, shock therapy to her where she's like, she can't go outside a certain area.
Oh, she got like, she got a fucking got a shocking shock collar on.
No, if she goes
So you
outside a
can't-
certain area, I think she like breaks down and like vomits or
like
cries or
cellular.
something.
Oh,
No,
I
she
thought you
like
meant-
has like an actual mental fucking breakdown.
I thought you meant breakdown as in like Mary Jane in the animated series where she just turns into water and
Mary
evaporates.
Jane!
But no, you mean like she can't handle it mentally and starts crying, rolling
Yes, I
in
don't know
a
if
ball.
I can't remember what they did to her, but it's like they actually made it so she can't get out of a certain radius. It's really
while we're
fucked.
on,
I mean, it's
while
really
we're on
shocked.
this, it's really, that's really shocked up. While we're on the subject, mate, one of the only negatives I thought was the villains like selection.
You only
would
had
have
really
liked-
one?
Yeah, you've got what? Anti-Venom, who you fight a few times, Black Cat, and then Future Peter. That's really it for bosses, dude. Like Spider-Man
It's funny
2099.
though, when he's fighting Peter in the future.
Yeah.
And he was like insulting him, and then Peter in the present was getting fucking upset over it.
Yeah, you're a gutless coward, Peter Parker. And he's like, whoa, what did I do?
Yeah. Not you,
But, like-
Peter, the future Peter.
Spidey 2099, it's his game, really. He instigates the whole thing, and he just
You
helps
play as him more? I
Peter
feel like.
through. So we're in Alchemax. We could have had Venture, the cowboy cyborg assassin from issue 2 turn up.
Like I said, have like some Thorites get mutilated and
They-
have that
yeah.
as like a base enemy.
Them
In, like,
test
their
subjects
Thor
you fight,
costume.
they could have been like one of the Thorites.
It would have been cool as
We've got
have
a new version of Black
Find
Cat,
out.
which we didn't get Black Cat in 2099 originally, so fair play making new characters. If this is the Shattered Dimensions
Specialist.
universe, dude, where's like at the end of Shattered Dimensions, we see like a Power Ranger group of Hobgoblin 2099s, don't we? All different colours. Do you remember that?
There was also like Doc Ock and Scorpion.
Yeah.
Scorpion's in the game as an Easter egg.
Doc Ock
In the-
doesn't go to prison in Shattered Dimensions because she's just there doing her job. She's paid for, isn't she? The tablet
Well,
drove her a little bit nuts, but go ahead.
I don't know about you, but like besides Scorpion's Easter egg,
Yeah,
it's almost like they just ignored the game.
yeah, like it doesn't follow on as good, except for the bit where Peter asks if the other hymns are in his head as well.
Yeah, like it's weird because then you got like the tablet as it was in Peter's office in the future,
Yeah, even though
which
I'm
is
pretty sure
interesting.
that belongs in a museum.
It is
I suppose it's a
interesting to
safe
think
place
that
for it.
like, well, like that future Peter, if he had all this power, he'd actually just try to save everyone.
Yeah, it was a ballsy move making him the baddie at the end.
Well, did you think it worked?
Yeah, thought it was. We've always wondered who the head of Alchemax is because Tyler Stone is only the vice president, and he's like the
I remember
main
he
threat
like
to
talked
Spidey
to him, but wasn't
2099.
he like blurred out when he first talked to him in the comic?
Yeah, so you never actually see who runs this MegaCorp, and I think Peter David said at one point he intended for it to be a future Peter, but in a world full of superheroes, doesn't really work as well. While in this way you can focus on Spider-Man, I do think it works a bit better.
I'm trying to find that Felicia thing. I've got like the action figures put up here.
Oh yeah.
I want to see when they mention like the radius. So she volunteered for an Alchemax research program for reverse aging. And Alchemax obviously took advantage. Yes, we know this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
What did you reckon of Walker Sloan being Val fucking Kilmer?
it's so weird when you play it and it goes
What?
like Walker Sloan, Val Kilmer. I'm like, oh god.
Like, Batman Return? No, Batman Forever.
Oddly enough, when I read Stone in the fucking comics, I had like Val Kilmer's voice in my head. Because I was trying to like think, okay, who can I give a voice to? Like, what voice could I give? And that was like the first one that came to my mind, and I just like rolled with it. I love when they go, or when Dana says to him, Miguel hates when you call him Mike. Does he? He just calls him Mike like in the next 2 seconds.
Keeps doing it. Yeah, mate. Oh, mate, we're getting we finally got a reference to Lila, Miguel's best friend.
Oh, the password?
Yeah, mate. But where was she?
Oh, mate, where's that Marilyn Monroe figure, man? Oh my, where's Gabe?
Where was Gabe? Where's brother Gabe? Where's Conchata, Miguel's mother?
This might sound weird to you, but when I was reading the books, I had Christopher Daniel Barnes as Miguel, and then for some reason I was hearing Josh Keaton as Gabe.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah,
this is like a younger, yeah. Yeah, it's sort of like it sort of blended in nicely for me. Like, yeah, that works.
Oh, 2 for 1.
So you know the black cat in the game?
Yeah.
She has DNA of Tigra. Right. And also has the mutant gene from Vanisher.
Vanisher, not Nightcrawler. Vanisher.
Alchemax didn't want this black cat to escape the way the original did, so it was also hardwired aquarophobia into her mental processes.
Is that she literally cannot spaces?
Or she literally cannot leave the confines of the building without collapsing in terror. That is Alchemax in a nutshell, but that's shocked.
That is pretty funny.
Could you imagine she finally gets out and just shocking drops to her knees?
Well, if like during the boss fight, like Spider-Man jumped out the window. So, not going out there.
It's like the ultimate Spider-Man fight with Venom. Hey, if you can trick him into stepping into the electrical wires, you skip the boss fight.
Where's so Alchemax literally runs 2099, and the best superhero DNA they could get hold of was Tigra and Vanisher. not like Sabretooth or someone actually threatening.
It's weird, isn't it? Also, another thing that was weird was with the newspapers. The Alchemax one, if they took over the present day, has Spider-Man threat or menace, but then the Daily Bugle one says Spider-Man great hero or the greatest hero. Like that's it should be the opposite way, or it should just be both of them just talking shit.
Both of them should hate them, yeah, because as I say, Alchemax runs the world, and they hate Spider-Man 2099. He's like their ultimate enemy, dude.
And like the game starts off with Jameson talking shit about Spidey before the change happens.
Yeah. Do you reckon? Because there is. You've recently read Spider-Man 2099. When they mention Spider-Man's DNA that they've got on file, do they call him Peter Parker? Because I'm wondering if. Then I wonder if Sloan, because Peter in the new timeline works for Alchemax, and I wonder if Walker Sloan decided we should keep an eye on him because he's going to be Spider-Man.
Because in the comics, I know they don't mention the name, and it's more like, oh, he was a part of the heroic age.
Yeah.
Which, do they ever explain how it ended? Like what?
No, it's just they're all dead.
And then Thor would come back. I can't wait to get to that issue though, with him on the cover. I want to read that one so badly. Mate. I want to see the Thorites rejoice.
The world of 2099 is so cool because like obviously in 616, the heroes are the heroes, and at the end of the day, it's the modern day, so everything's not too bad. But in 2099, these heroes are more like rebels fighting against like the big corporation.
And
All the
there's not
heroes are
much
in
good in
shit.
2099.
There's not much good at all, dude.
Even like you got the people above, mostly like snobby rich people who wouldn't help anyone or like whatever, and then people downtown are just all gangs fighting for
Cannibal
themselves. Yeah, like it's like
freakers.
whoa. It really is like a really shitty situation.
Yeah, mate, you do really want to live in the middle, but then if you live in the middle, the people above could just buy you, or the people below could just climb up and eat you. So it's not ideal.
I love how like I can't remember if it was Gabe, but Gabe was so confused about using his tires again. Or he was like, oh, tires?
Yeah,
Gosh.
so what the hell are they?
It's like, whoa, calm down.
If you could add a character to the game as a boss, who would you do? Oh. Amazing or 2099? Or
Either
both?
one. I think when Peter's taken over and Alchemax has like remains of, or like Alchemax is filled with Spider-Man characters that he's brought back.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been interesting to a certain extent if we fought Ben Reilly. Like if he somehow found a way to bring back Ben. As like his, oh, you're my brother, Ben, type shit.
Instead of the Black Cat fight, it's Ben, and they've cloned Spider-Man like on repeat.
Or then like Peter's confused and worried that like the last he saw of him, he got impaled by the glider and turned to dust. But I feel like we could have played more with Peter's sort of the characters that relate more directly to Peter.
Yeah.
We just had Black Cat. I wanted to see more.
This world's so weird.
Who would be a good like Skip? Get Skip back.
It's the CEO. Skip Westcott.
I mean, like, it's also basic for, like, adventure would be good.
Yeah. As I say, adding a few more 2099 exclusive characters that aren't just, like, original Spider-Man villain, but of the future. I'd say what would have been fun. Flipside. if
that would make so much
like,
sense.
You know that bit where, like, a huge robot comes out and Miguel's like, oh no, a Centurion. If instead they're like, oh shit, Flipside.
Like,
this is an alternate suit.
You know when you destroy the robot in Peter's time?
Yeah.
And then it changes, and then the robot changes to Flipside or something. He's like, oh, shock.
Yeah, mate. Killer kittens.
It could have been good as well if they had, like, a specialist fight.
Oh, mate,
again,
the
like,
samurai.
He just keeps on chasing you. I hate the way he talks, though. It was so confusing. Like, this one thinks you're highly respectable. This one doesn't want to chase you.
In his third person, goblin.
I had a clock in my head. Oh, he's not talking about someone else. Do you want to know all the? Do you know all the newspapers?
Not all of them, no. Just
so we got
the one about Robot Master and Scorpion as like a bank robbery spree. But that's standard fit.
Daily Bugle, Kingpin, indicted in multiple charges.
Good.
And then now I don't know if Jonathan Hickman saw this, but then the Alchemax is Wilson Fisk buys Daily Bugle.
Oh no, it is the alternate timeline we have Walker Sloan to praise for Ultimate Spider-Man. No way. of all characters.
You got Alistair for Daily Bugle. Alistair Smythe leads Prison Breakout, and he's got the 90s look.
Oh, I was about to say it's BJ Novak. leading a bunch of huge prisoners out.
And then the Alchemax is Alistair Smythe leads scientific breakthrough. It would be boring.
Oh.
Where is it? Professor Mendelstrom unleashes robot attack. And then Professor Mendelstrom signs exclusive contract with Alchemax.
Is this Mendelstrom from Spider-Man or from superhero movie?
Yeah, which mutants are they talking about? What if it's got Sneezo? We got kids who can walk through walls. We have kids who think they can walk through walls. Electro seizes power plant as the Daily Bugle headline.
Right.
Alchemax, Max Dillon named energy secretary.
Oh.
Good on you, Max.
Nice, mate, he did it. Do you see me now, Alchemax?
In the Daily Bugle one, Jameson in tight race for mayor. That makes sense. And Alchemax, so I'm guessing this is like post Wilson Fisk bought Daily Bugle. Jameson buys mayor to race. He just bought a racing horse.
Oh.
That's oddly like a Jameson thing.
He would make that the headline as well, wouldn't he?
Daily Bugle, police close in on Hammerhead. You'll never guess what Hammerhead does in the Alchemax world.
Oh, mate. God, it's like a shark preservation society.
Even better. Hammerhead opens line of extra large hat stores.
Oh, push it to the limit. Limit!
So is like Spidey an issue or something with like the normal world because no one gets reformed?
It must be, dude, because they're all living life here. There's a Craven one coming up that's like a very prestigious position.
Well, like in Daily Bugle, Norman Osborn's fall from power and he's in prison. Alchemax, he's potentially running for mayor. So I guess like that's a shit one.
Insomniac must have played this as well.
The Daily Bugle, Craven the Hunter missing, believed dead. That is the Shattered Dimensions look, isn't it? That's like exactly what he wore.
Yeah. It's just a screenshot from Shattered Dimensions.
Sergei Kravinoff named UN Secretary General?
Extreme, dude. Look at that. Jump. What does his brother think?
What's Chameleon do? Oh, yeah, I think there's a Chameleon one later on.
Oh, right. I'm praying it just says Daily Bugle, Chameleon, fucking loser. Alchemax names Chameleon, #1 fucking loser. Some things. It's a canon event.
Chameleon, dead. The Daily Bugle headlines got police ask who Mr. Negative is, and then Alchemax's philanthropist Martin Lee awarded Peace Prize. Daily Bugle, Vulture takes wing in crime spree. The guy is still going. Can someone fucking put him down? The Alchemax is actually... The Alchemax is shocking good. Adrian Toombs founds new chicken wing franchise. And
it's Gustavo Fring, mate.
No, mate. The image is VLC, and he's got like the Colonel Sanders like drawing face. He's got his own shocking KFC.
VLC, vulture licking chicken.
That's horrible.
That's awful. You'll eat it down to the bone.
Daily Bugle, you got Rhino rampages through Midtown. Alchemax, Rhino triumphs in Demolition Derby.
Made these good endings. These are getting me. These are quite good.
Daily Bugle, Mysterio threats directed at Spider-Man. Let's see what they do to the legend himself.
They've already said the word directed, so I know where this is going.
Mysterio to direct Spider-Man biopic.
Is it a musical?
Could you, with Jameson saying like about the dancing Spider-Mans
He's
at
done
the
it.
start of the game?
Have you ever seen that musical, dude, or like
Didn't someone
some of the
die?
songs from it? I'm sure someone died, like coming from the rafters. But there's a whole new supervillain called Miss Swiss, who's a Swiss Army knife. Joins the Sinister Six.
Just use Mysterio, mate. You sorted.
You've got
He is
so
the
many cool
perfect
villains.
villain.
You don't have to make up shit new ones.
Mysterio would actually love the opportunity for that.
He would, mate. If someone went over and were doing a stage play about your most hated enemy, you know he'd chuck it in. He'd adapt issue 14, dude, and just do his origins.
It's weird as though like just the thing of Mysterio directing a biopic of Spider-Man. So that means like the Spider-Man in the Alchemax world was still enough of a hero to get a biopic. And then his villains are all reformed and one of them's gonna direct it. So like what's going wrong in the normal world?
In the alternate universe, Spider-Man's rogues gallery is like friggin'. He's got Stiltman, Sabretooth. All his normal dudes are already reformed, so he's not gotta worry about the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So Spidey's like #1 enemy.
Him and Daredevil fight over Turk.
He's all that's left.
You got Daily Bugle Scorpion on bank robbery rampage. Alchemax Scorpion aids in police sting. He's working with
mate, he's still a private detective then. That characteristic that just got left at the wayside all them years ago.
You got Daily Bugle Sinister Six officially returns. Alchemax Sinister Six officially disband. It's also a different team in the normal world. The Sinister Six is Doc Ock, Kraven, Electro, Mysterio, Vulture, Sandman, like the first one.
Oh, the classics, dude.
Yeah, but then in Alchemax, it's like it's got Hobgoblin instead of Sandman.
Yeah.
So why is Kraven there and why is Sandman gone?
Is Dr. Octopus still there?
Yeah, he's the leader.
What they saying in this game? He just calls him Otto Octavius, and he's just a scientist. He's not a supervillain.
So is that when
So why did he
disbanded?
Maybe he come to his senses.
Oh, mate, I'm up to the best one. I even told you this one. Daily Bugle. Jameson Sr. May Parker wedding is a social event of season. Alchemax. Jameson Sr. Betty Branch wedding is social event of the season.
No way, mate.
And he looks like Hammerhead. Let me send you a photo. He looks like Hammerhead. What the fuck?
That's pretty grim. Because
What is she doing?
Mate, Betty dated Peter once as well, so she's only like...
Flash?
She was 21 while Peter was 15, if we go by Spectacular Cartoon. So
she's just a weirdo in general?
She's just went... Either she's grave robbing or he's cradle robbing, dude. Oh, mate, he does look like Hammer. He looks awful there, dude. Who drew this? What's up with Betty? Jesus,
it's disgusting. That one's actually cooked. That one's shocked, if you ask me. We got a bit of a sad one, I feel like.
Go on.
Well, you got Daily Bugle. Flash Thompson tapped for Veterans Affair post.
Ooh.
Alchemax. Flash Thompson to coach Jersey football team. I don't know, it's just like... You go from like someone in the army to a
war hero to just a coach.
Yeah, we don't even know what type of coach. If he even got, did he do well?
Well, if Thingy went back in time to the 80s to start Alchemax early, do you reckon it's like he's also avoided whatever war they now say Flash lost his legs in? Could Walker Sloan have stopped 9/11?
Which one? Did he stop Juggernauts or did he stop like?
Oh, yeah. Because, like...
This one is cool as.
Go ahead.
Because it's depressing in either way. Like, no other way. It's just fun. There's only a slight difference. And
Go
that's
on.
in the fucking title. Daily Bugle. Police Captain Jean DeWolf murdered. Alchemax. Police Commissioner Jean DeWolf murdered.
Oh, no. So she can't avoid the Sin Eater no matter what.
Yeah, she's just commissioner in one of them. The other one, she's captain.
That's grim.
So either what? So is there a Sin Eater in both worlds?
Yeah, and Spidey failed in both. I suppose
That
it'd have
means-
to be because he's a key part of Venom's origin, isn't he?
Because didn't he report on it?
Yeah, but he didn't tell the police who he was. And then he ended up getting lied to by someone just claiming to be Sin Eater for the clout. And then instead of blaming the bullshitter, Eddie blames Spider-Man.
It's like in Spider-Man 3, I always get confused with that. Like he photoshopped not just a random pic of Spidey. He used his direct competition's photos.
Yeah.
What do you think Parker's
Really
gonna let that
stupid.
slide? Why would Peter let him go? Or why would he not tell Jameson that, hey, he used my photo?
You should have thought of that earlier.
You want forgiveness? Seek religion.
Religion.
They go, oh, are you ready for this one, mate? It's the
Oh, God.
last one. The
Oh.
last newspaper. Daily Bugle. Chameleon believed responsible for Middle East unrest.
Go on.
Alchemax. Chameleon to host new game show. Who am I?
Jesus, tonight, mate. He's done it again.
It's just like, it's weird to think that the Alchemax timeline, it's actually pretty peaceful.
It is,
All
you
the
know,
villains
that's to say.
are good, basically. Chameleon's a game show host. Doc Ock is just a scientist. Betty's less on Betty.
The
Jean
net
DeWolf
gain
is shocked
for the
either way.
universe. Yeah, she's dead, Anna, so it doesn't really matter there. Like, but the gain of the universe having all these supervillains instead out doing relatively good, unless they're all corrupt and we just don't know it. Like, we don't know how good Craven is at his new job. What?
Electro's perfect.
It's better than them being out committing crime and killing people, innit?
Scorpion
Electro's won
helped the
awards.
police out.
Scorpion is like an undercover cop, and it worked. Apparently, like Jonah's attempts to make a hero worked because he's still the Scorpion, only now he's helping the cops.
It's weird to think about. Also, like, I feel like it'd be such a good avenue for the panel pals to show off their writing skills. And we write a comic in the world of Alchemax.
In the edge of time, mate.
Yeah, like what happened during that time? We write the origin of everything.
Oh.
Like of Chameleon getting his game show. We could do
I
heaps of
reckon.
shit.
What if Mysterio, instead of framing Spider-Man, he framed, like, Daredevil or something, and then actually managed to kill him, which is why Daredevil's not mentioned. So the world believes that Mysterio is a hero who stopped that evil Daredevil from robbing the museum. And that's why he's, like, now got this multi-million-dollar deal to make movies about his fellow hero.
Oh, mate, one thing though in this game, with like broader heroes and stuff,
Yeah.
is there so many Easter eggs. Like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you know when you're running around as Peter in 2099.
Yeah.
I think it's 2099. I think so. And like the world's getting like shocked up and it's changing and shit. One of the like I don't know what it's called. Like the cylinders.
Yeah.
One of them's got like Spider Ham in there. But then even at the start, we got like the announcement. I think Tara Strong was voicing some of the ads. and there was like She-Hulk was a lawyer. Like they had an ad for that.
Yeah.
Sue Storm, I think, had lingerie. Reed had, I think, unstable molecule like thing shopping. There was a private investigation, I think, maybe for Jessica Jones. They had like so many Easter eggs through that. And
Even
that's
like
what I
in
mean
the
by,
dialogue,
but
mentioning
this
other
world
heroes.
feels so rich.
Yeah.
It's so like in depth. That's why I think I liked about it a lot, was the way that it truly felt like this game could be a part of the comic books, like as a side thing.
Compare it to another superhero game that come out this same year, 2011, Batman Arkham City. Both actually seem to pay respect to like the world they're from, loaded with these Easter eggs and references.
Last time we've ever got that one.
Yeah, right. I think.
Do you think
this game benefits from acting as if it's set in a world that's already lived in? While most other Spider-Man games, he's just starting out, or he hasn't done any big stuff yet. Like the game directly after this,
Insomniac's one. It hasn't had a Doc Ock or a Sinister Six.
Yeah, he spent 8 years and he's got 4 bad guys: Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture, Electro. Okay. And it took him like 2 years to catch that Vulture. But the game directly after this is the Amazing Spider-Man movie tie-in. And obviously the only villain he's fought in that era is the Lizard. So they can't really make... They do try, but the references are all stupid. Like a sand pit that's moving, or a bench that's coloured wrong.
Look at the green feathers, guys. Oh my god, it's the Vulture.
You guys know the Vulture, right? Look, there's some paper. Paper doll was here. Ooh. But then, like... But in this, they do benefit from being able to say, oh, the chameleon tried doing this bullshit. And you're like, oh shit, the chameleon. Instead of just going, oh yeah, that's talking about so Scorpion.
Many people.
Yeah. Captain America, Jean Grey, and Colossus all get mentioned. So you know it's not just Spidey.
But he's like, now I know how Jean Grey feels in Colossus. Starts listing off all people that died. I think that, like, there should be a certain category of superhero games, of Edge of Time, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, because shock, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
Comic book games, actual.
Yeah, like
pay respect to the source material games, not just we like the movie, let's make the movie game.
You get those two. I'd say Spider-Man 2000.
Oh, defo, dude.
Fit well in.
Enter Electro as well.
Yeah, Shattered Dimensions, sort of. Like, it's a bit iffy, considering they ignore a lot of the canon.
Games where you could play them and pretend you could read the comic and play the game, and they do make sense following on. Like Spider-Man 2000, where he knows who Venom is, he's already fought Carnage before. Games where they're not bothered about the origin. They basically go, you know who Spider-Man is. Go.
Yeah, the Spider-Man 2000 game, he's been through the Silver Age, Bronze Age, Copper Age. Like, he's been through all of them.
Yeah. Mysterio says, doesn't he, for decades, I've wanted to shut that mouth of yours. You're like, decades,
so
dude?
At least 20
years. At least 20 fucking years he's been Spider-Man. So he's in his 40s.
He's probably like,
he's
what,
35.
in his 30s?
Well, that makes sense, because look at all his accomplishments. He's fought the Goblins, he's fought Venom and Carnage, and he's done the Secret Wars. He's married, yeah, because it says Mary Jane Parker. For those who don't know, Peter used to be married to Mary Jane, yeah. You know Mary Jane, the redhead who despises Peter in current ASM? That was his wife once.
That was my question for you, because in this game, when she wants to speak to Peter and Miguel goes, you'll have your whole lives together. Do you think in this world, Peter and MJ, like, tie the knot?
They must do, dude, because she knows he's Spider-Man. Because when a Spider-Man saves her, she talks about Spider-Man. Even though
And
it's
this was-
apparently one more day, brand new day must have happened because we got Anti-Venom and Mr. Negative. So this is like set in a world where Peter... is this the world where Peter said no to Mephisto? Oh, Walker
Because an Aunt May
Sloan
marries
again?
Jameson Sr.?
Is Walker Sloan the greatest hero of all Spider-Man?
In the normal timeline, Aunt May marries Jameson's dad, so they follow that brand new day plot?
Well, because she's dead, because Peter refused Mephisto's deal. He had to marry Betty instead.
So is Alchemax just fully the better world?
Oh my god, mate. I've been talking all this shit about Alchemax, the hero.
But we know that they were together, though, at the start of the game before it changed. Because it happened, he was talking to her, then it changed. So they're together as well, so it's in a weird place. Because one more day should have happened. But at the time, they weren't dating in the comics.
No, yeah.
So is Peter David just so much of a shocking legend? Where he's like, I'll give you a Spider-Man 2099 game team up with Peter Parker, and Peter's going to be with MJ, and they're going to kick ass. It's like, what the
How's he done so well? Get this man on the main book now, dude.
He doesn't miss. That's the thing. Like, Peter David rarely misses.
So good, dude. I'm fuming now. Genuinely. My new favourite Spider-Man character is voiced by Val Kilmer.
We gotta do our own like world set in the Alchemax timeline.
It's too interesting to leave behind now.
That's such an easy opportunity for Marvel to make money. Have it like a limited series. Where they just go over it.
I like in the game as well, where they have the title drop. Did you spot that bit? He goes, Miguel's fighting future Peter, and he's talking to past Peter because he's fighting the atrocity at the same time.
I think I pointed out, I had my dad watch the boss fight with me.
Yeah.
And then I think I said something like, there's a name drop.
Yeah. He goes like, we're running out of time. He goes, as long as we've got 1 second, and Miguel goes, I'd rather not bring the deadline right up to the edge of time.
And everyone claps.
These dimensions are getting shattered. Someone is shattering the dimension. Spider-Man.
I love that part though when you can see Peter's office from the window, and all you have to do is like go through like a couple waves of enemies. And I love just like that feeling of we're about to reach the final boss. Like we're about to confront him.
Oh.
I can see his fucking office right outside the window. And then it's also weird how tall that fucking building is. It doesn't end.
Nah, mate.
Even when the elevator drops.
It's so long.
It's like it's the superhero movie with like this is a really tall building. No way.
He falls for friggin' ages, Miguel, don't he?
Did you like those parts? The free falling?
Yeah, I thought they were quite fun.
I got my ass kicked on the last one. Because that's when they were going like really wild with it. Yeah, they're like just throwing everything at you. Because I held my thumb on the A button, so I was diving, or like I was going as fast as I could. And all I kept doing was go, just kept smashing into everything.
The Mary Jane one in the lift as well, so even like present Alchemax is friggin' massive. Because you gotta grab the lift like 3 times, don't you?
Yeah, there's like this game does everything in 3s.
Yeah, and
it was getting a bit annoying by the end of it. It's like, okay, you got to do this 3 times. Even when you're getting the DNA from Anti,
that's when I clocked on and went, hang on. Yeah, because there's 3 people in him, and you get Otto, Venom, and Walker's DNA. And there's like, again, are you kidding me? But Spidey references it, don't he? He says, with the hydroponic jungle.
Why are these things always in threes or something?
Yeah, he goes, I don't know. But then he says at the end, he goes, when Miguel tells him, go get one more sample for me from the atrocity. And Peter goes like, oh, yeah. If I'm ever in the same room as you ever again, you're getting punched.
But it's like, how could Peter not tell that he was going to say, get 3 when there's they've got like 3 perfectly placed areas for the blood samples. That mission as a kid used to scare the shit out of me. Oh my god, him chasing you was crazy. Did you have a favorite mission?
I like the bits where you're just running around Alchemax, like like the very start where you're playing as Peter and you're just webbing around chasing down anti-venom. Because normally, I'm so used to like open world in Spider-Man games, being a bit more confined and running through like a bit of a maze. I just think that's a bit fun.
You can tell the way that they stretch the playtime out by what is it called? The quantum.
Oh yeah. Like he's destroy the robot now so it doesn't kill Miguel in 90 years.
I hated when they would do you enter a room and you have to just basically walk straight. It's an open path. Then all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden the wall's there. I gotta take another whole detour. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake!
Peter Parker spends 70% of this game in that weird like dizzy animation. Where you can't do nothing. It's just like, whoa! Every 2 seconds, something blasts him.
I love that like part where Peter wakes up, and just like that whole thing of having them swapped around in the worlds was pretty fun.
Yeah,
just the way they navigate.
That's part of that cool bit where Miguel flies back into the past to kick some ass, dude. Because Anti-Venom's coming for Peter, innit? And Miguel's holding him up.
They have such comic book dialogue too, where they have to explain it all. Like in real life, no one would explain to the villain what they have.
Your radiation powers,
because my powers are radiation based. If you have to know, it's like, well, he didn't, but we needed to know, so you had to explain that to us.
Why give it away, dude?
Yeah, I know. Why are they always like doing that shit in comic books, where they just basically tell the hero or villain the exact way to beat them?
I read the other day.
Thanks for telling me.
I read the other day, the 6 days of the Scarecrow, where Scarecrow makes Batman radiate fear to other people, and halfway through he captures Batgirl and Robin, and Scarecrow basically goes, "Look at this jar. This has the antidote that Batman needs. You're not getting this." I was like, why is he telling them that there's an antidote to begin with?
It's like when Harley in City, when she's tied up, and she's like, I'm going to tell you about the freeze gadget Joker has downstairs, like past the elevator.
Down in the boiler room. Crap. Yeah, ridiculous.
It's like, it's especially in the 60s, they'll do that all the time. The villain, like, Spidey would beat Doc Ock with something like, how? Well, it's quite simple. Here's an in-depth explanation of how I beat you so you can improve next time.
I loved in Spectacular, the cartoon, when the Sinister Six come down and none of the tricks that worked the first time work again. Like, he can't punch into Vulture's backpack. And like Dr. Octopus now has permanent power because of Electro. He can't just take out his battery. Like he's thought about it.
There's always one scene I love in Spectacular when Sandman's like, "What do you got? Some kind of spider sense?" Well, funny you should say that. Oh,
oh mate, incredible! I love Sandman was so good at that show, dude. Just leaves the money behind as he goes down the grid, and then realizes.
Do you think in this world, like the Edge of Time world, Doc Ock and Spider-Man did mouth-to-mouth?
Definitely.
Did Doc Ock send a rocket into space to make everyone allergic to coke? These are the... Like, what's Skip Westcott doing? Where is he?
Place is crawling with Spider-Man.
My dream.
What? Doc Ock could just be like a pudgy nerd in this. He wouldn't have his master planner type of mindset if he's not really been a villain. Because Peter works with him at Alchemax, which is why it's funny that he was still in the Sinister Six. Maybe they were holding him hostage.
Well, in the game,
yeah,
the Alchemax world, Doc Ock felt more like spectacular Spider-Man Doc Ock before he became evil. Like that wimpy sort of submissive nerd.
I think you've hit the nail on the head when you said wimp. Yeah.
The Walker Sloan's just ironically walking over him. Who else was in the... I thought the Black Cat voice actress wasn't bad, but like all her lines were just sexual.
Oh, defo.
Like everything was like an innuendo.
I've just had the name up then. Black Cat was Katie Sackhoff, who's like a real actress, isn't she?
What's
Some
her
Battlestar
IMDb
Galactica.
say?
She's in
There was just some
Battlestar. She's in The Mandalorian.
But also Peter cheats, technically.
True.
Why did he go in to kiss a clone of Felicia?
He's thinking, I'm in 2099, Mary Jane's long dead. Screw it.
It's so weird. I mean, the costume was also crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see that anymore.
It was like Mortal Kombat versus DC Catwoman. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I used to have that game.
Yeah. Where she's like, the zip is undone right before the pubes. It's like, okay. Not into the imagination. When you're fighting a dude, probably. What about the DS version? Hear me out.
There's a DS?
There's a DS version where instead of anti-venom, it's the Rhino. There's more villains.
What?
Because there's an Overdrive 2099. There's a Big Wheel 2099. And there's an Arcade 2099.
Oh, fuck, I can't stand Arcade. I don't know.
Yeah. He's not a Spidey villain, certainly. Well, Miguel fights the Shocker and doesn't mention it. He doesn't mention that Shocker's basically called the Fucker. Menace, everyone's favourite brand new day foe. Menace.
I was so confused because on the IMDb page it said Tara Strong as Menace. I'm like, surely not.
Why the hell would you use Menace? She's so shit.
Does she have like a pregnant belly as well?
I think that's she throws 3 bombs and then reveals a weak spot, which is a pregnant belly for Spidey to punch.
Throw the bomb into her stomach.
Yeah, you web zip the bomb like Hobgoblin, dude. You web zip the bomb back at it.
You know the Jameson actor for this one, Fred Tatasky or whatever.
Oh, the man himself. I hear him all the time. Doesn't he do all the animal voices?
He was drill surgeon in American Dad.
Oh.
He played Groot in What If. He's in Marvel Rivals. He's playing Hulk.
Hulk?
I thought that was like... No, that's...
Was he ever Wolverine?
This is Monster Hulk.
Oh.
He's in the Patrick Star Show. He played Detective Chimp in Teen Titans Go.
DC himself, the man who they've named their company after.
He played Bane in Arkham Shadow.
Was Bane in Arkham Shadow?
Yeah. I didn't know that, but yeah. He played Hulk, Devil Dinosaur, and Ghost Rider in Lego Marvel Avengers Mission Demolition.
With D-Man. Sick dude.
For some reason, in that short, from what I saw, Daredevil had his horns backwards.
He is blind. Do you reckon he's just missed?
Just put the mask on wrong.
With his helmet on wrong. No one wants to say anything because they feel bad.
The one guy that doesn't know he's blind just starts insulting him.
What do you reckon Spider-Man Noir and Ultimate are up to while this shit's going down?
We have that in our intro, don't we? One's dead.
Yeah. Because there's a Miles suit in this game, isn't there? And it says New Ultimate.
Yes, I'm guessing he's long gone by now.
Ultimate Peter's already been murdered by the Sinister Six. Okay. Spidey Noir's probably doing eyes without a face.
Struggling to pay his bills. Is it still the Great Depression?
Last time we saw Noir, he'd done his first story, at least, because he knew Norman Osborn in that, even though they should have all been dead. But God knows, he might be doing his eyes without a face. He might have already done it.
He knows Vulture.
Who he shot.
That's what I mean. Like, that game just doesn't feel connected the same way this one does.
Yeah. This game's about the story, while that one was more about who can we have Spider-Man punch.
Yeah, and even that was weird because, like, you take away Vulture. You could have had two Vultures realistically. I don't think people would have cared that much. It would have been shit to go, oh, you're fighting Vulture twice. But they're so different where it's like, I wouldn't have cared.
2099 Vulture is more interesting than Noir Vulture, definitely, because Noir is just a cannibal. Wow.
Yeah, like that's his personality. 2099, yeah. that's like an added flavor to him, you know?
Exactly,
like, and dude. He's a cannibal.
All Noir is a cannibal monster. Well, 2099's is a gang leader. He's like a street tough. And he just eats those he kills. Would have been a better choice. And then Noir could have thought, is Craven or something with all his animal monsters? Oh, but Craven's already in it, isn't he? Who else was in Thingy's gang? Or just make up new characters like they did for 2099 in Shattered Dimensions.
What did you think of the costumes?
Probably some of the best we've ever got.
The classic suit, I didn't even change it for Peter because it's that good.
I love the suit in this. I love how haphazard the webs are. There's no order to it. It looks like he's just spun a web and walked into it. And I think it suits because his suit's going to get damaged an awful lot doing what he does. So he's not going to perfectly
sewn over it so many times.
Yeah, but he's just stopped caring about the web pattern.
Yeah, because it's always like the face that's messy, but then if you look at more like, I think the boots were pretty normally like patterned.
Well, no one's going to punch him in the foot, are they?
That's what I mean. So like, it makes sense maybe if he just kept sewing over and over and over again, and he's like, just shock it, you know?
Yeah, mate. A crazier web pattern benefits the look, I think. So such a simple change that you wouldn't really think of. Yeah, the eyes are massive, mate. Loving it.
I mean, 2099 is the same as the last one, which was pretty disappointing because it was like, it's alright, but you could do
still
better.
Does that pulsating blue thing that I'm not a big fan of because it's just a costume.
It feels like he's upgraded, you know? Like, it's almost like he's gone through the events of the comics and thought, time for an upgrade.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be some, like, weird force field or something in the future that they could bullshit that he's got on. But then kind of ruins it a little bit because the point is that he's already got all these superpowers so he doesn't need like an. It's like in the movies where they give Spider-Man like an armored suit and that.
I will say
Doesn't
though,
need it.
besides the pulsating, it does look really like the face looks awesome.
Oh yeah,
It did
that's what I mean. The
contribute,
design's fantastic, dude. It's just that it seems to glow. How are you meant to
It did
stealth around?
contribute though. So
It contributed. Did
no,
you
to
say?
the consistent, what's the word? Miscoloring of his suit.
Oh, of course it did. Suit's black, man.
Exactly. No one realizes because of these shocking games.
It's like
The
Venom back
suit
in the
isn't
day,
blue.
dude. Venom's not blue either. That's just the shading.
And because 2099 is so, neon lighted or whatever, obviously there's going to be more blue shading.
Yeah.
And he has a back
Absolute
logo
outrage.
instead of the cape.
Yeah, where is the web cape, dude?
They
We keep getting
they
denied it.
100% could not be bothered modeling that.
But again, Arkham City, meanwhile, has like cape physics. It was one dude's job to smash out a perfect cape.
Okay, this is weird. I'm just looking through the suits here.
Yeah.
2099 has the Hornet suit. Why has he got the Hornet suit? I mean, like, they adapted it perfectly for some reason. Like, it's actually
Sure.
1-for-1.
Yeah.
And even his visor, like, reflects this, like, whatever he's looking at, which is cool as. But why is Miguel got the Hornet suit and the Dusk suit?
The Dusk one just looks like... It is literally from the comic, but it just looks lazy.
But, like, I don't get why they give him Peter's suits for.
Yeah, hasn't he got
Where's...
the armor? He's got both spider armors, doesn't he? The Stark one and the Silver one.
I'm going through them now. I'm up to Flipside.
Nice.
And even Flipside does the pulsating thing.
Yeah.
He's got Iron Spider.
But at least Flipside is like a robot. Like if his flashed red, it'd make sense.
Why is the Mark 1 suit pulsating?
Okay, fine, oh dude.
And why is Miguel got it? That's like Peter's thing.
Could they just not turn off the effect, do you reckon?
Well, they made a whole different model for it.
Have
you seen the Cosmic one?
Yeah, it looks, honest to God, the 2099 Cosmic one I think looks quite cool. Because the like
He looks
bits
pissed.
of his eyes poking out look like fangs.
He looks really angry.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Okay, I'm confused. So the Hornet suit, Hornet Dusk and Big Time don't pulsate, but the Spider armor does? Why has he got the Big Time suit? That makes no sense.
There's one suit in it that I despise and have hated since it was in the comic. It's like called Bulletproof or Armor Mark 2.
Yeah.
And the eyes looks abysmal.
Why does Miguel have Spider-Man 1602 as one of his costumes? So
Imagine
Miguel...
if this was a team up between them two instead, dude.
He'd probably kill himself, hearing that many voices. I think he's like a warlock.
What could Miguel have had then other than Flipside?
Roller skates?
Yeah.
I get that his suit listing's pretty poor, but they've given him all 3 spider armors.
You know when he's in like just his bathrobe, Miguel, when Venture first rolls up, could have had that with his sunglasses on. Could have had just Miguel, like on his own, because there's a CEO Peter Parker.
You have like 3 Peter, like 3 Peters, mate. Like what are you gonna do with all of them?
Yeah. This was before he had his white suit. Go ahead.
I don't know if this would be hard to do for them, but just have it so you can use them like whichever Spidey.
Yeah, just as a pool of suits that they share.
Yeah, Like they
That
can share
sounds
upgrades.
better, yeah.
They could share. They should be able to share suits because next one on the video I'm just looking at is the Ben Reilly suit, which they nailed. By the way, it is a beautiful
sensational, dude.
adaptation. The
Not
spider's
often we get that.
perfect. The eyes are pure, like 90s goodness. Wow. I for my playthrough for this video, I used that suit the whole time.
Sick, dude.
It is so cool.
The only games I have with that is the PS1 2000s one and Web of Shadows on the Wii. They're the only games that let me play as it. I don't know, because it's too good, and if people see that, they'll think, why would I dress as normal Spidey? Surely not. It's not yet appeared in Insomniac.
Insomniac gave us the shit Scarlet Spider suit over that. Mate, get this. So as Miguel, you can play as Hydra. You know that Hydra suit he wore?
Yeah, with the green and the arm straps.
Yeah, and Miguel's other suit, you can play as Peter in the future.
There's two of them.
Both versions, like with the battle armor.
Civilian and armored.
So you can like play the game as Peter and Peter. Yeah, how weird that would look when he's holding Peter's corpse.
His
it's like the old version.
In his hands. Yeah, right.
I might have to do that. That might be pretty weird.
Future Peter's like playing guitar, playing Earth Angel when past one's getting killed by anti-venom and his hand starts fading.
Because then you can have like Biff Electro as well.
Why don't you make like a tree? Get out of here.
It's leave. Make like a tree and leave. Oh, the poison suit was ugly as, man. That's like,
mate. Have you read the story that's from, dude?
Probably once, and then just forgot about it.
It's from What If the Other, and it's like when the Other becomes Peter, they're like weird spider god shit. He goes feral. The symbiote returns to him from Matt Gargan and turns him into poison, and then he goes and resurrects Gwen Stacy with like her own symbiote, and it was shit. And he looks awful. He looks like some weird symbiote zombie.
It's horrible because I think the mouth doesn't even move in like cutscenes as well. So for Peter, we got the beautiful classic suit. We got Prodigy, which I found it really cool how they actually just went, all right, let's do the Identity Crisis suits.
Not often we see Prodigy, isn't it? Yeah?
It's Prodigy always Hornet.
Dusk. Always Hornet, and I love Ricochet. It's so cool. It's the eyes, I swear to God.
But it is, you know what's funny though?
Go ahead.
TASM 2 just reused all of these models. Like whatever suits are here, that's the only. That is the only reason they're in the game. Is because of like, okay, what can we reuse? But Ricochet's
the same with the first ASM game. Does the same shit. Like all the suits are just back from this.
Well, they got the Bagman suit, and it does look almost the same.
Has he got boots on?
He's not showing it, but he's pretty skinny. So I'm a bit confused whether or not it's like just reused from Shattered Dimensions. The Cosmic Spider-Man looks sick.
Yeah.
The Scarlet Spider is definitely reused. I can tell. Like that is the same thing. I do appreciate that it's the only one that, besides like, I know Insomniac didn't do this, but it's got the ripped hoodie. Insomniac's one has the hoodie intact. Yeah.
Oh.
The Secret Wars suit. Why is that in everything? It's so shit.
It's shit, innit?
The Future Foundation suit.
The Secret Wars suit looks like the mask anyway is literally just Miles Morales, isn't it? Black with red webs.
It's so basic.
It is.
You can play as Peter Parker. So then you can use the Peter Parker skin and the CEO one. Just have them two run around.
Just two nerds hanging out, dude.
Why wasn't Miguel an option? If you're gonna have like 4 civilian Peter suits.
That's what I was thinking. It does show him at the start. The little ginger in it.
Oh, the Miles
In the
suit.
intro. But it's a CGI intro in it rather than...
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't even make a model for him, the poor guy.
The main
Miles
character.
Morales suit. I mean, the Miles suit looks pretty accurate.
That one was defo reused in
suit,
ASM2.
Yeah, it was. The mask Marvel suit is beautiful. It's the wrestler suit, but it's identical to like Amazing Fantasy.
Huh.
That shitty web mask he put on and the white shirt, it's all in its glory.
The weird fishnet looking one.
Yeah, with the eye holes. The black suit, which was completely reused for Tasm as well. Although this has a nice blue shine to it. Like, I'm just looking at it, that's crazy. Negative Zone. Which, I was going to say reused from the previous game, but it looks sort of different in ways. Like, I think they upgraded the texture on it.
Ooh.
The Last Stand suit looks sick.
Yeah, mate, always.
I mean, you could use that and it would make sense, like, if he dies.
Oh, yeah, true.
And then the last one was Spider-Man in Russia.
In Russia? Why is it titled like that, dude? Why not just call it Assassin Spider-Man?
But this design's pretty... It's just basically the Alex Ross suit.
Yeah, it is. Full on.
Overall, the suit selection's pretty shocking good.
Yeah, we've had worse, certainly.
We've had Spider-Man 2 levels of bad with Insomnia.
Where they're all fan-made. Fan being in quotations, because they all seem to hate Spider-Man.
Original design or MCU suits is basically the two options you got.
Christ.
You know it's bad when their classic suits boring?
Yeah, it's so hard to cock up, but they managed it, didn't they?
Because it's like the most vanilla Spider-Man suit ever. Like there's nothing about it that's got some sort of style to it. They went as safe as humanly possible.
Good. Overall, pretty good game.
Beautiful.
I think we'd be hard pressed to get a better one. But
Wait,
people seem to turn the nose up. Good.
I have a bootleg Lego Miguel figure, and the suit's black.
Cool.
So make of that what you will.
Nice. I think people turn the nose up a bit at it not being open world nowadays. But makes no difference because you're focusing on the story anyway. If anything, it makes it quicker because you don't have to adventure from one side of the map to the next to carry on with the story.
I was ranting to my dad about this, where I was like, I wish we had more games like these.
Yeah.
They're easier to make. You get more. It's just a story. I just want to play a story. I don't have to always travel open world. We've been to New York so many times. Just give me something that I can sit down and play and not have to worry about, you know?
Yeah, don't want to spend a ton of time collecting every collectible.
Yeah, just
crack on.
You know, what happened to replay? I have no intention to replay games anymore. But then you get something like this and you actually want to. It's like, because I think it's like, oh, it's not going to take me too long to beat it.
Yeah.
And the story's good and it's fun.
There's too much shit to do, dude. Like, imagine if halfway through this game you got interrupted by, the robot master and he was going, oh, collect all 200 pieces of my robots to fight me. Or, the looter.
Peter goes,
I've left 17 stashes of looter gear somewhere in Alchemax. Collect them all, Spider-Man.
The COP has his backpacks lying around all of Alchemax. You have to travel everywhere to find them.
Exactly.
What the shuck is Sandman doing in this? It's been 100 years.
Too much busy work.
Yeah, there's no incentive to play it. It's almost like homework.
Yeah, because I feel even in the Arkham games, I feel like before I do the final boss, if it lets me, I better like do everything else first. You know what I mean? In Arkham Knight, you can't go and stop Scarecrow until everyone else is done. In my mind,
It doesn't make sense if you do it like afterwards. That's the annoying part about it.
yeah,
Like
because the
sometimes you're
story wants
forced.
this to be the finale, but then
Yeah.
it's like you do the grand finale in Act 2, and then you spend Act 3 collecting Riddler trophies.
Yeah, because it's like, in logical sense, it just doesn't work either way. Because Batman wouldn't go, oh, hang on, Scarecrow, I got to collect 247 Riddler trophies. Be right back. But then Batman wouldn't do that till last. Wouldn't do that like first anyway.
Yeah,
It's in a weird sort of place where it's like it's unrealistic in both aspects. But that's
yeah,
why
'cause
these games are
just
good. You
wasting
hop
your
in, you
time.
play.
Innit?
Yeah, there's no. If you want to go above and beyond, you can, and you can collect those. You can do the challenges, and you actually get rewarded for them. You can unlock shit. So it's a simpler time,
Yeah,
but none are quite simpler than Ultimate Alliance 1. That is like the pinnacle of it. Honestly, one of my favorite games.
yeah, mate. Oh, it's
ever.
fantastic, isn't it?
Do you have it?
I did have it on the PSP long ago.
Oh. Can you watch it?
Yeah, surely.
I'm tempted to do a massive replay. It's so
I'll
much
be able
fun.
to find it on some.
What costumes would you main?
In
Would you
Ultimate Alliance.
yeah, like would you have Daredevil in his like armor or his yellow suit
Yeah,
or
mate.
red suit?
I'd always go for the 90s ones. I'd have Black Suit Spider-Man, though. But then, if there's like 90s options like Silver Centurion and that, I'd have that defo.
I remember I used to go with the classics, so I'd have like uh when Iron Man got his first like red and gold suit.
Yeah.
I'd have Thor's classic suit. I'd have Daredevil yellow suit. And like Spidey in his classic, or Wolverine in his tiger stripe.
Nice.
It makes the game so much more like it feels right, you know. It's such a comic book story. And the world it feels like it's literally ripped out of Marvel Comics. And then for them to be in their ultimate costumes, it just feels wrong.
Yeah,
Like for
because it is.
Wolverine to be wearing a shirt or for
Oh,
Thor to be having the whatever the fuck he wears in that.
I remember
Just
being
doesn't
annoyed
feel
at
right.
X-Men Legends because it made you wear like basically the movie uniforms. It was the ultimate suits, but it was clearly like they were inspired by the movie because no one had unique costumes.
The X-Men should never be boring. And
Exactly,
like
mate.
that's what the 90s understood when they're like, all right, just have everyone in cool costumes.
Yeah, mate. Even if it went like above and beyond.
It's weird because I've had like two periods almost where it was like that. You had the 70s where everyone had their own sort of costume, and the 90s. Then you had like the 60s where they were all wearing that same sort of jumpsuit. And then the 2000s went back to like the uniforms.
Yeah, like all the Avengers were in the same like leather jackets
It's so
in the
stupid.
2000s. It's like, yeah, where's the
The best
uniqueness gone,
part
dude?
about superhero teams is seeing all the characters' uniqueness. That's what I hate about Guardians 3, is that they made all of them wear the same outfit.
Oh, yeah, mate. No fun allowed, innit?
Don't give them Star-Lord's suit. Oh, I love that photo.
What's in it, dude? The boys teaming up. Do you want that for the thumbnail?
Oh, it's just right, isn't it? It's perfect. I think Godzilla Mendoza used that for his like old review
Oh, did he? Shit.
ages ago. Have you noticed how many people are coming up? Yeah, there's so many.
How many people were?
Like making videos.
Ooh.
Like, I get so many of my recommendation now, where it's like new channels.
Oh, nice.
Do you get that?
I do get the odd few, yeah.
Oh,
But I
who
don't
do they-
often click
who
on.
do they think they are?
If I'm honest.
The panel
They're
pals must.
stealing the panel pals gimmick. I
What
don't
are your
often press on
overall
him, like, but
thoughts?
overall, could do with more like this. Just nice, short, well-written games. No busy work to worry about. Nothing like to catch up with. You know what I mean?
It's even the gameplay is really fun.
Yeah.
The upgrades as well make you feel really powerful. There's this one move with Miguel, we almost do like this slam.
Yeah.
And for the base enemies, it takes them all out, and it's crazy.
Oh.
And I love the way they did their abilities. Like Miguel can move so fast, he leaves like a hologram.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
But there's even one where you know how Spidey does the web strike?
Yeah.
Miguel sends like a shockwave and a hologram or whatever, like that silhouette of him knocks the enemy straight to you.
Ooh.
And then there's a time paradox where you can create one of those and everyone inside it's like still. So you
So
can
you
just
just
easily take
kick
them
some
all out.
ass, dude. Nice.
Even if you upgrade Spidey up, they bring back the web gloves.
Oh yeah, dude.
His base attacks, you see like the web fist, and he's like, he's just going at it. Peter's lethal in this. Like to a normal guy, he's pretty strong.
He does the hammer stuff again, don't he? Where he like makes a web hammer out of none.
Like a baseball bat as well. When you jump in the air, he whacks them across. The game is fun. It's such a blast.
Yeah, mate. It's a worthy successor to Shattered Dimensions.
And the way that they fixed, I guess you could say, the characterization problems.
Yeah, absolutely. He's well better in this Miguel than he was in Shattered Dimensions, just because he's written as he should be.
About time. Even Peter was less annoying.
Yeah, because as we said, the original Amazing Peter from Shattered Dimensions, he was unstoppable. He was too like he'd fight the Juggernaut and laugh about it. He was an ass. Nothing could stop him.
But also, like his jokes weren't funny.
Yeah, it was just more like saying something to say something.
And I guess when you have Josh Keaton, it's like, of course, the delivery is going to be infinitely better.
Yeah, knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Legend, mate. He's in the Friendly Neighborhood show.
Is he? As Electro?
Yeah. I think he's playing Iron Man. I don't know. They haven't
Who is he in
revealed him
Marvel
yet.
Rivals? Is he Iron Man in Marvel Rivals?
Yeah, he's Iron Man here.
Oh, Christ. Why can't they just? They know they've got him there. Can they not just have him friggin' do Spidey for us?
I don't understand the Yuri Lowenthal hype. Like, yeah, he's good. But I don't the GOAT debates baffle me. I'll never go,
people
yeah,
saying
he's the
best. No, God, no, dude.
There's no way. I can't. It's always going to be
Chris
Daniel
or
Barnes,
Josh
Keaton. I have a birthday video from him where he sings me like happy birthday.
Nice.
And I'm tempted to make it my ringtone so I can actually hear it more. Because it's like, you get it, and then you sort of just tuck it away in your camera roll.
Yeah.
But it's like, hang on a second. Like, Spider-Man said my name. But, I mean, it was a fun trip playing this one.
Cool. What have we got coming up?
In the world of Panel Pals or our own channels, which one?
Bit of both.
When is this coming out? 2 weeks?
This one, no, this will be next week because Daredevil come out today.
I'll be slaving away trying to get through my reviews, and then I got members' requests.
Very nice.
So I'm stuck. I really want to get to my Valentine's Day special,
Yeah.
but I'll have to just assign a day where I'm like, all right, I'm working on this nonstop. It's gonna be pain in the ass. But yeah, I mean, by now, today when we're recording this,
Yep.
almost a sequel of sorts to the Why I Love Spider-Man video.
Ah.
So hopefully that does well. It took me a
Yeah,
long
mate.
time to edit.
Oh.
That there were so many hours going in because I used a lot of like comic images from
Oh, yes. So
I'm
you have
talking
to,
about
like,
like
dig
all
through.
over. Yeah, so I'm like sitting there like having to go through issue after issue after issue, trying to remember like, oh, shock,
Oh.
which one's this one? Trying to find an obscure issue just to find one panel that I'm remembering in my head.
Oh, yeah, mate. Well, me before with that, like, the thing that says about Vulture having superpowers outside of his suit. I was there, like, scouring all his appearances until it come up.
It's a pain, mate. It's like, fuck, which
Yeah.
one is it? Or like when you finally find it and you can't get a clear photo of it, you're like, oh. And so yeah, like
Human,
I
dude.
was trying to get it done last night, and I think I worked on it for nearly 4 to 5 hours, and I only got halfway because it's like nearly 25 minutes long, so it's a
Yeah,
pretty
it's a
long
long
one.
one, isn't it?
Yeah. And I can't wait for someone to comment like, "You didn't talk about this."
You didn't cover literally everything.
Yeah, like I had a comment on my like Batman one I did, the Ra's
Yeah.
al Ghul story.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a long video. I think it's like 21 minutes, and that took me
Nice.
a while to edit. And I was trying to get like really theatrical with like the story.
Yeah, as you do.
Someone just said, "Let me see." I feel like the better description would be that this isn't a billion anymore. This isn't the Batman. This is a father who's going to do anything he can get his can to get his son back. Jeez, thanks. Ignores all the video just to say, "Hey, this is better." To say this one, it's one line as well. Like, bro, come on.
Bloody hell.
It's, like, did you like the video? Did you not?
Doesn't sound like it.
It's like, was that one line that much of a disappointment? Yeah, it's a weird thing, isn't
It's a tricky balancing act, isn't
it? What do you got coming up on the old Skull Ryan channel?
Well, it's February, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's Two-Face because it's the second month. But because I only do Fridays, mate, it's had to come out on the 7th and not the 2nd. Close enough. But the story mugged me off badly because what happens in one issue, something completely different is referenced in the next. Like, there's a bit where I do the annual where Maroni gets shot in court and dies. But then in like the last story, Two-Face goes, and then months later, I killed Maroni at the docks when he was trying to escape town. That's not it. That's not how we saw it happen, dude.
When's the Daredevil one coming out?
Ooh, the week before Born Again unleashes. So that would be.
Oh, it's still a while.
Yeah, it's in like. That might be the last of February. So I think it was the 27th.
Is this
28th.
year a Yeep year?
Is what?
Is this year a leap year?
No, it's the 28th of Feb. No, I think last year was. It's every 4 years, isn't it? I think 2024 I had one.
28.
So Feb 28th for weird Daredevil villains, dude.
Yes. Oh, mate, I'm gonna get my popcorn and just relish in the scene.
You'll need it, dude. 41 minutes. Shit,
41 minutes is insane. I've gone to like almost 40, but never 40 minutes. How long does it take to edit one of those?
I don't do it all in one blast. I'll just do it like through the day, like every now and then. But my resolution for the new year was to keep them all above 20 minutes. And so far I'm doing it.
Damn. I'm lucky I got to these two. I'm
I
doing
have
a
read
Muse
just
video.
half an hour.
I forgot to mention that I'm doing a Muse one,
Nice. The
and
Daredevil
that's gonna
villain.
take ages. Yeah, because I'm going over his first story.
Yeah.
And that's still like 4 issues.
Yeah.
But I've trimmed it down because his painting isn't shown to the end of issue 10. So I'm literally just like kicking off from that point on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna talk about the other shit. So I'm trying to like trim as much of the fat as I can. If something's happening that's not really important, I'll just go skim over it.
Oh, yeah. I know how you feel, dude. I had to do the same
'cause-
for Micah Sin. There's
It's
an
all
issue where
important.
he's only in one page because he's in the hospital. And then the actual threat of the issue was like some of the mug. So it's
He's in
like
the
check
hospital. He's
chance.
in the cafeteria. McDonald's. He's like that fish in SpongeBob in the Pretty Patty episode. He's like food, water, atmosphere, and he's just in the hospital like a cafeteria, and they're like feeding him slop. He's begging for like fast food.
And then for the panel pals, mate, are we doing the new animated series?
That would be the next show, unless we do the friendly neighborhood. We could do the new animated series. There was the. We can move on to like the TASM game as well.
Oh, we could indeed.
Can't wait to play TASM 2.
Oh, with that annoying swinging where every time like you can't ignore a crime because the police blame you.
And then when you get to the menace side of the meter, and then the task force like actively puts shit in the skies to stop you.
Cretins.
Whoever thought that was a good idea?
Denim.
Right,
Nice.
that's
So
been episode of the Panel Pals. Another one done.
it has indeed. The duology all done, mate. Easy.
Okay, and I need sleep.
Oh. And you know what? Shock this.